Good evening, ladies and gentlefolk of the internet. 'Tis I, the old geek, and I'm joined by a pair of familiar faces. How? Looks like we haven't got anybody here yet, apart from us, but we shall see. We shall see. Yeah. We're not early or anything, are we?
No, it's 9 o'clock.
I guess people have just got out of the habit of me streaming on a Wednesday. I think that's what it is. That's one of the things about having a regular slot. People know where you are, when you're going to be there, and all that sort of stuff. But they also expect you to be there.
I've got the notification now, so people will start coming in, I think.
Oh, right. Okay. Hopefully. So who's the one? Is it one of you two? Or is it...
It's not me.
It's not me either. We do have a one, and that one has become zero. Oh, our one person disappeared. How are you doing, fellas? You all right?
I am good.
Yeah.
Not too bad, thanks, mate. How are you?
We had all right. A little game of Call of Cthulhu overran a little last night because I was trying to push you to hurry you to a point where I could finish on a cliffhanger, but you all kept delaying. You kept wanting to fanny about a bit more.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you could tell there were certain moments in the session where I was making a concerted effort to just push things along.
Yeah, but then when I tried to push it along, you pushed back. Everybody pushed back. Everyone was like, chat. And I was thinking, oh, God, I want to push along to the gory bits. I want to get to the gory bits. But no, we...
Hey, when it came time for the gory bits, I just let you do your thing. I didn't get in the way.
No, that's true.
And when it came time for Anne's reactions, oh, man, so funny.
Yes, as one of the cultists got splattered against the wall of the Simplon tunnel.
Just imagine the sound. Squelching, scraping, yeah. Oh,
yes.
The clunk of the head.
I love it. She starts getting the ick because she always does the same thing. She's like, it's like her body just reacts. Oh no.
Yeah.
And then me and Joker, at one point, I'm sure we stopped listening to you. We were just watching her reaction.
But I will admit, I run horror partially for the reactions, and I like players to react.
And I feel like this is a valid point because, and forgive me for saying it this way, but because you're a little bitch baby, you know what scares people.
Yeah, you learn that. You learn that with your players. You get an idea of.
I'm not much phases me, so I'm like, looking at all these creatures or whatever. I'm like, yeah, they wouldn't be phased by that, because I wouldn't be.
No.
Meanwhile, actually,
there are tense moments though, and you do react to tense moments. Yes, that's the thing.
But I don't get scared, if that makes sense.
No, there's a difference between tension and being scared.
Yeah.
And tension is more what you have when you're playing that sort of game. Genuinely,
Sorry.
What? No, go on.
I was going to say, do you remember when Andy was running the second one shot for us, and we were in the workshop? And he was describing a tentacle, and it suddenly twitched, and she actually screamed in real life. Because it evokes that strong of a reaction from her, because she gets so invested.
Yes.
And that's part of the fun for me now, is when you're describing the horror, I'm like, right, I could just sit back, listen to you, and watch her.
Yes. Yep.
Anyway.
Well, at the moment, it feels like we're talking to ourselves. Don't appear to have. Indeed, we are. Yes.
This was a fun stream. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Daniel, wake up!
Oh, he's here. He's arrived. Oh, I can't.
He done?
I can't add him yet though, because his microphone and camera aren't connected yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
Hello, Daniel.
Hey,
Hi, guys. Sorry I'm
Hello.
late.
That's
not
all
late,
right. That's all right. That's all
don't
right.
worry,
You're
you're
not
not
like
there
everyone
before
else
the
is.
viewers.
Deb asked what time the game started. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't looked. And then,
Well, as I said, I'm not ready to run the game full blown yet. So the idea is we finish that learning choose your own adventure game. I've had a read through a lot of the core rules, so I've got a better idea of how they work, and it gives me a chance to sort of explain what's happening and get you guys familiar with how the whole system works.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be a struggle to run it without if you guys aren't remotely familiar with it. So
correct. Yeah.
So I need you to sort of get in your heads. Firstly, what it is to be a knight in the world, and
John,
then how.
can you change John's name to something like Sir Alcohol or something like that?
Let's have a look.
A little thing.
Well, I mean, Dan, did you read my little story I put on Discord earlier? As an example of play. Have you read it?
No.
Or is he reading it now? Shall I bring it up and read it out to everybody?
Go on then. Regale.
I need to. Right, let's get this over here. Dan, you there? Looks like he's wandered away for a moment.
Yeah, just wait for him to get back. There's no point reading it yet. We want him to hear it. But yeah, I mean, yesterday's session was actually fucking amazing, John. Not that the rest weren't, but just something about yesterday just felt like things were ramping up a bit or something.
I mean, I'm glad you said that because I felt the first hour or so was a bit flat, but it moved on. It moved on.
Evening, Andy.
Oh, we have an Andy.
Let me guess, are you number one in the rankings now?
Right. Dan, who's your favorite gun manufacturer?
Smith & Wesson, I'm going to go ahead and say, but I'm probably wrong.
No, I'm going to do this.
That's fair.
That fits, though, doesn't it? That fits.
Yeah.
Something made from Birmingham sounds about right.
Are Lugers from Birmingham? I thought they'd be German.
I was going to say, aren't Luger's German?
Yeah. I know Birmingham was big in that city I live in. Was around wartime was a big munitions manufacturer city. That's why we got bombed.
I was going to say through Victorian times we were very good at making not the muskets but the long barrel. What ended up being shotguns.
All right.
Because there's a good quote in Talon's White Triangle of Joker of Doctor Who, and Tom asks one of the men that answer, "Have you got anything to shoot?" And he picks up the gun off the big musket off the wall. And he goes, "Made from Birmingham. That's about the right requirement."
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. So I haven't got many in chat yet, but I'm just waiting for Daniel to get back. Oh, he's probably doing dinner. I think, what time is it in the world of Daniel at the moment? It's about 4 p.m. 4:15.
Obviously not 5 o'clock.
No. Is it beer o'clock? It's 10 past
Even
4.
Even though it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but you know.
Where would it be 5 o'clock now? Greenland?
Where's 4 hours behind us?
Well, the Atlantic Ocean. A big chunk of the Atlantic Ocean. Possibly Greenland. Don't know what time they're on. But just waiting for Daniel to return before we kick off. So, if you're in chat, say hello. Apparently, it's just Andy at the moment. We're bouncing between 1 and 2 people. I know Andy's lurking, unless he's buggered off as well because he's sick of the sight of us after last night. We're back up to 2. Yeah, still waiting for a few people to arrive in chat. So I have spent the last couple of days trying to digest the rules to a new game system. And as I've put in the Discord, hello, Rodney Hampton. Hello. I'm not very good at learning new rules unless I've got some familiarity already with the type of game system. I found Shadow Dark easy to learn because it blended 2 rule sets that I know. But
which is OSE and what?
Basically old school D&D and 5e. It takes the bits that work from both and puts them together, and it was easy to put together in a very clear manner. But the idea of the skill resolution in Pendragon just took a little bit of time for me to sink in the logic behind it, and there is a logic to it. So, what I'm going to do in this stream is I'm going to continue reading the book that we were reading the other day on Friday, but I'm going to sort of dwell a little bit when it comes to the choices on how the skills might work in that sort of situation, so that potential players would have an idea of what they could do in this situation. Obviously, the book will limit you because it's a choose your own adventure. But at a game table, you've got much more freedom. So, Dan, you can hear us now, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you read my little story I put in Discord about Sir Daniel?
No, I did not. I've been busy today.
Okay.
Well, now's your time to shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Right. This is an example of how I think the mechanics might work. Sir Daniel rides into town for a tournament organized by King Bear. All the greatest knights are there, including the devious Sir Yog, Sir Daniel's nemesis. Accompanying Sir Daniel are his squires, Iman and Joker. Sir Daniel is a skilled combatant, but life has exposed his weaknesses. Though marriage has somewhat calmed the excesses of his youth, and he has been true to his current wife. Thus, his current stats are chaste 14, lustful 6, but temperate 6, indulgent 14.
Fair.
The night before the event, there is a great feast, and Sir Daniel intends to take it easy. But Sir Yog has other ideas. While Joker is entertaining the guests with his folklore skill, spinning amusing yarns, Iman is helping provide food and drink. Sir Yog hands Iman a jug of extremely strong wine, saying it is a gift for Sir Daniel. Iman fails his trusting versus suspicion roll and hands the wine to Sir Daniel. Sir Daniel then critically fails his temperate versus indulgence roll and drinks heavily. This then leads to a -5 penalty to his chaste versus lustful roll, and a night with a serving wench, followed by a brutal hangover, means -10 to his energetic versus lazy roll in the morning. Sir Daniel performs terribly in the tournament and, racked with guilt for his dalliance, suffers from melancholy for the remainder of the year.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So there you go. That's an example of how the game might play out. Using...
Were you spying on me about 10 years ago?
Hello.
No, John is just very much Sam Beckett.
So that's an example of how the game might play out and how roles might affect future roles and modifiers and events. In that example, Sir Daniel,
penalty?
the -10 was to his energetics versus lazy roll in the morning because he had been up all night with a serving wench and woke up with a severe hangover.
I actually did that one. I called my supervisor and I said, if you would see the redhead that's laying next to me, you would understand why I'm not going to be on time today. He laughed and said, okay. That's funny.
Well, is she in the UK? It'd be like, well, is she at least fit? All right, fine, I'll allow it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Send photo evidence, and then you might have the day off.
Yeah. But that's funny. That's why I said that was me. Actually, would have been around 2000 when I was about 30. Yep.
But the key roles there are you've got trusting and suspicious. Those are two opposing traits.
Okay.
So in that, because Iman has failed his trust suspicious role, Iman would have rolled to see if he was suspicious and got a trusting result, which is not a good result because Sir Yog was doing something dodgy. So Iman trusts Sir Yog, trusts his intentions. Then, when presented with a large jug of strong wine, Daniel then tries, because he's got the tournament in the morning and he wants to defeat Sir Yog in the tournament, tries to resist it, but his indulgence takes over, and thus he drinks. And because he's drunk, he now has a modifier to his roll when he's testing whether he avoids the advances of the serving girl. And it all leads to getting up late in the morning and doing shit in the tournament.
Yeah.
But that's. I just want to do that as an example of how the skills might flow into each other and how it might create the story through the roles, and you'd have to role play out each individual part.
Mm-hmm.
So we would then probably have a.
I like that simply because it sort of stops, and we're all guilty of this to some extent, but like players have like a thing in their mind that they want their character to do, right?
Yep.
And it sort of well, if the dice say no, then guess what? You have to role play the opposite, whether you like it or not.
The unpredictability.
No,
but yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
And the thing in this, I mean, every knight has a very high valorous stat, and you don't have to roll against valorous for a lot of combats. Only when your life is really on the line, or you're up against something supernatural, or weird, or an overwhelming force. So if you're just in a joust or a basic duel against maybe not to the death, but just a duel, you don't have to roll your valorous. But if you are told by King Arthur to charge that rabbit that has just torn the throat out of one of your fellow knights, you'll be rolling valorous with a penalty, and you'll most likely run away. Whether you want to take on that rabbit or not. But you choose the order that you want to roll in. So, as I said to Iman and Joker before the stream starts, if you want to run away, you would choose I'm going to roll cowardly first. And if you succeed on that, you don't roll against valorous. You're able to run away. If you fail on that, you then roll against valorous. If you then succeed, no, you're staying to fight. If you then fail, you can still choose to run away.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. If you choose which one you roll against first, and thus trying to favor that one. But if one of them succeeds, you have to do that. There we
And
go.
the only time you get to pick what you want to do out of the two is if both rolls fail.
Yes. If you
'Cause
roll
that's
equal to your
basically
stat,
saying, well, I didn't pass either of the traits, so
yeah, I've got a choice. If you roll if on either roll you roll a 20, you fumble that interaction completely. You get a worst outcome. If you roll equal to a stat, you critically succeed. So you get a bonus on what you want
there
to do.
is a possibility that like a penalty that you've taken to a stat will actually make you hit a critical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you get a bonus that pushes a stat above 20, then what happens is your critical range increases.
How does that work?
Well, if your stat is pushed to beyond 20 for any reason, including a bonus, and say if it's found that it's pushed to 22,
Right.
those two are added to your roll. So you will now crit on 18, 19, or 20. Because your stat is effectively 20. There's no chance of a fumble in that case. So you're now critting on 18, 19, or 20.
Okay, so it goes too lower as a result.
Yes.
The critical. Right, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it increases the range. It increases the range.
Yeah. By adding some of the lower numbers into the critical range. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And is there anything like armor class in this game or what? There isn't there, but it's different.
Mm-hmm. It's like an absorption rating. But it all affects your combat. Yeah. Hello, Coco. Andy has a point here. Yeah. You are playing a knight. Therefore, there are knightly ideals that you are at least attempting to adhere to.
Devere.
He fits those knightly ideals. It's just he has a weird tweak on them. But there are things like knights can have negative traits, and negative traits can develop through the dice. The player agency comes from choosing how you want to approach a situation and choosing which trait of the two opposing ones you want to push first. But the dice may go against you. I think this is a greater test of role playing, though.
I concur. Because it goes back, like when I said, like, a player has that idea in their head of, oh, I want to do this and say this or go there and do that. And it sort of throws a spanner into the works. And you're like, well, now I've got to think on my feet. But that encourages creativity rather than having
also you have to
motion.
Also, you have to work to the feudal system. If the one who is in command of you gives you an order, you do it.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. You don't argue. It's your place in society. That's how society functions.
Sorry, are you disobeying an order from the computer?
Exactly. Anywho, let's crack on with what we were reading the other night. I've got here number 92.
I don't know if that's correct or not, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, yes, this is where we choose where we wanted to go. We are currently, I believe, in Londinium. And we are at the tournament, in the tournament grounds.
That's right, I remember that.
Right. So, this, if you've not been for one of our streams, I think with regular names in the stream, but chat get to vote as well as my panel. So, where do we want to go? Right. Do we take a stroll amongst the knights' tents? Do we check out the market and animal fights? Do we go to see what's happening with a group of squires in the corral? Do we need treatment? No. Or do we think we've seen enough for the day? Because we've just been walking around town. See, yeah, tents, fights, or corral. So we've got a tense vote from Joker. So Joker.
Tents.
Tents from Sir Daniel DeLuga.
Because I need to ease this hangover.
Pardon me.
Hair of the dog.
I vote market or fights. That's the option.
Okay. So what does chat want? Let's sit back. I'm going to pour myself a glass of pink lemonade.
Ooh, very fancy.
I like pink lemonade. It's lemonade with raspberry, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct. It has a nice little tartness to it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Fortified potato water.
Fortified potato water. Okay. Well, I've got some fortified fruit-based beverages over there, which I might dabble with later. We shall see.
I've got some funny smelling oregano.
Oh. I got home, went downstairs Monday when I woke up.
Oh, you're telling them?
Well, I was on the computer for a bit, so I went downstairs for some lunchtime. And my son had his last exam that morning. And I'd heard him come in. And he was sat in our lounge downstairs. And I was going to say, do you want to have a beer? It was about 1 o'clock at lunchtime. And he sat there with a beer already in his hand. His friend's got a beer in his hand, and his friend stinks of weed. Jake didn't smell of weed, but it was his friend did. So
I asked John, I said, are you sure it was just his friend?
They went out soon afterwards. I don't ask what they went out to do. I know they went into the city centre a bit later to drink. A group of them. But they're celebrating end of exams. So why not? Right, chat aren't responding at all. Nobody's voting in chat. You're
all asleep.
What a bunch of cat holes.
There's something on here that appeared called show comments on stage. What's that?
Oh, I think it pulls up the live chat in a little bar on the side or something. You can try it.
Oh, okay. Comments take the stage.
There, do you see it?
Yeah, excellent. That's fantastic. Right. There we go. What were the options again, please? Take a stroll amongst the knights' tents. Check out the market and animal fights. Or see what's going on with a group of squires in the corral. Oh, I like that. That's tents. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. I think that's a benefit.
Right. So 3 of you are pitching tents.
Hey. Yeah, tents are going to win. Oh, Robert says squires. Okay.
Oh, that's 3-1-1.
3-1-1. Does anybody else in chat? Because it just said we've got 5 in chat. Are any of you 3 in chat? You aren't, are you?
No, I'm not.
So we do have lurkers.
Do you know what? I'll give you some watch time.
Good man.
There you are.
Coolio.
Yeah, I see 5 as well, mate.
Yep. So, we are going to take a stroll amongst the knights' tents, because with 3 votes, that's not going to be beaten.
No.
The city hosts the overflow of knights and their entourages, who could not find lodging in the city. Row upon row of colourful tents and pavilions, from tiny to palatial, create a veritable labyrinth populated by martial men and women. Pennants fluttering from each tent pole display the arms of the knights residing within. Squires run to and fro on missions for their lords. Knights sit outside their tents, chatting with compatriots, strumming their harps or playing games of skill to pass the time. You pause outside one large tent, partly coloured yellow and blue, which you recognise as the heraldry of the Count of Salisbury. A knight is stepping out of the tent, and although you realise you are blocking the way, you cannot help but gawp. Although you are unaware that women may become knights, although you are aware that women may become knights, they're almost unheard of where you come from. But here in the flesh is a woman knight. She is obviously a veteran of many years fighting. Her steel hair nearly matches the iron of her armour. Her hands are rough and knotted, and you spot a couple of small but nasty scars on her face. Following her is a young man about Arthur's age, but dressed as a knight. He's almost the mirror image of the other, fresh-faced, unblemished, but he shares her martial bearing. And they are clearly at ease with each other. It is also intuitively obvious that he is her social better. Okay, so what do you want to do here? Do you wish to talk to the man? Do you wish to talk to the woman? Or do you wish to get out of their way?
Get out of the way.
Talk to the lady.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Get
one
out
for
the
get
way.
out of the way. Two, is she fit? Well, it sounds like she's probably in her 40s with some battle scars. So
Me
depends how you
Julie,
like-
she's proper fit.
So it depends. It depends on how you like your ladies.
Sounds like a silver fox. Wait, no, sorry. That's for man, isn't it? What's the female equivalent?
Vixen.
Cougar.
Cougar.
No, I think no. Specifically for someone with silvery or grey or white hair. Because I know there's a
That'd be
term.
silver fox. Silver fox.
Does that apply for
Probably
women
is.
as well?
Possibly does, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what they used to call President Bush's wife was a silver fox. So yeah.
Fair. Okay. I think of.
I don't know. Was President Bush's wife fit?
For her age, she was all right.
Okay. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, this is back in Christ 90. So yeah,
Do you mean Bush Senior or Bush Junior?
senior.
Senior. Oh, so was that was Barbara Bush, wasn't it, when she was younger?
Correct. Yes.
All right. I've only seen her, but she died not all that long ago.
I'm not sure. By now they're all dead. So you know.
Yeah. Grey Goose, what it says.
Great. That's something that Daniel would like because it's vodka.
But I can't afford that though.
So, chat, we've had 2 votes for talk to the woman and 1 for get out of their way. Isn't there a rapper who that
Move,
fits?
bitch, get out the way. Was that where your mind was going, John? I thought I'd beat you to it.
We have a lurky Saxius. Hello, Saxius. How are you doing, fella?
Hey, Sax. Glad to have you with us.
Andy reckons get out of the way.
Good, man. See, look, that's proper etiquette.
Yeah. What's that?
I mean, not that I know anything about etiquette, right, John?
yeah. it's
Yeah,
pretty-
fair.
I agree, Coco. It is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're on 3-2 for getting out of the way.
I think I'm on the right side of history here. I got Coco and Andy on my side. Yes, Rodney.
Rodney says move. Okay, so we get out of the way. That means we go back to where we were before. So do we go to the markets and the animal fights, or do we check out the squires?
Yes, market.
Market or squires?
Squires.
Market or squires, Daniel?
squires in case we need help.
Okay, 1 for market, 2 for squires, 3 for squires. Yeah, getting out of the way, 1 clearly with Robert's vote as well. So squires
Yeah.
looks like it's getting. Yeah, we're on 5 squires now. Squires,
All right.
yeah,
Squires it is.
yeah, squires it is. Remember, we've only got 1 gold coin, and we were told not to spend it.
Yeah, I don't know who that weirdo was that gave us it, though, right?
Merlin.
No, I
Merlin.
know.
Merlin.
I like
As you
how
approach
it
the
follows
corral.
Sorry, go on.
What? Go on.
I like how it follows the classic story, but it tells it in a slightly different way.
Mhm. As you approach the corral, you see many knights gathered around the fence, laughing and yelling encouragement to the squires within. You tug at the mailed sleeve of a nearby knight and ask what's going on. Eh? Why, this is a bohort, a chance for squires to have a bit of fun bashing each other with sticks. You should join. Okay, do we want to go back to our previous choice, or shall we join in the rumble?
Oh,
Let's get ready to rumble.
Sir
Yeah,
Daniel, join in.
Hey, look, we're going to practice being a knight. Let's practice with sticks before we start with swords, right?
Saxia says,
Let's
we were
get
told by
ready
an
to
old
rock
beggar
the
not
mic.
spend gold. Yes, Saxius would invest it for monetary
And he
gain.
would also make sure he files his tax returns on it.
So, yeah, it looks like we're heading very much towards bashing, doesn't it? We've got multiple.
Let's get
All
ready
of
to
you lot
rumble.
went. Yeah, all of you lot went for. Oh, Andy wants to be prudent. Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? Daisy chain. Dear Prudence.
No, we're a squire, aren't we?
Yeah, in this we're a squire at the moment. This is that adventure. So we're a squire. We're just a lowly 16-year-old squire who wants to be a knight.
One day.
One day.
In
In that case, bash. Okay, we are bashing.
Unanimous.
Okay, check the trait reckless.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
There we go. I put a tick in reckless. You run to the inn and grab your gambeson and helmet, donning them as you hustle back to the tournament grounds. By the time you arrive, the bohort is underway. You clamber over the fence and a knight hands you a quarterstaff. No sooner have you turned to face the field than a much older, larger squire is coming right at you, his staff raised on high. Okay, we now have some rules written. The quarterstaff is a versatile weapon and functions unlike others in that you get to choose which skill you wish to use to wield it in combat. You may wield it like a spear, making jabbing motions with the tip, like a sword, holding one end with both hands, or as a two-handed hafted weapon, with your hands positioned approximately 1/4 of the way from each end. How you wield it determines which skill you roll against, as indicated, and how much damage you do. You may change grips in between combat rounds, if you wish, with no penalty. The spear grip is best when you're using a shield, which you do not have here. So there's little point using this grip today. The sword grip is best for inflicting the most damage, and the two-handed hafted grip is best for a balance between damage and protection. Okay. Fights are divided into a series of combat rounds. Each is a short, elastic unit of time, basically the time required to think and perform one action in melee. Melee rounds continue in succession until everyone is done fighting, either through incapacitation, death, surrender, or flight. Once you've decided on your grip, make an opposed roll against the appropriate skill based on your grip versus your opponent's sword skill, as that is what he has chosen. Okay, so which grip do we want to use? We've got a sword skill of 6, a spear skill of 6, and a two-handed hafted skill of 6. So spear is pointless. So sword or two-handed hafted. We are the same in both. A skill of 6.
Sword.
You go sword. Joker.
Sword.
Sword. Daniel.
I guess it's going to go sword, so I'll go that way.
Okay. Chat, you could change their minds. Andy says two-handed. You've been careful.
I'm thinking two-handed, but, you know.
Vote for whatever you want, mate.
Two-handed. Let's go.
Okay, we're two.
Okay, that's 2-2.
We're at 2-2. We're down to 3 in chat. People have buggered off.
It's all Desmond at the moment.
Yeah, we're at 2-2.
Charming personality.
Have you've been sending bad vibes?
Yep.
Do you know what? It's probably because it's not Friday, therefore he's not cross-dressing. Maybe that's what it is. I'm joking, Dan.
So, anybody else in chat wish to vote? If there is anybody left in chat apart from Andy, I think it looks like people have.
I see 5. Hello, Brian.
You see 5. Okay, I see 3. Ah, we have a Brian. Good evening. Good evening. Right, we're fighting with a staff. Do we go with sword grip or two-handed grip? Brian, it's up to you.
Hey,
but Halakar joined us as well. We've joined in a big staff fight. All the squires are having a bit of fisticuffs, just to have a bit of fun.
Some squire on squire action.
Yeah, and we're choosing which grip we want to use. Oh, they both go for two-handed. Right, we're at 4-2 for two-handed.
Okay.
So we're going in with two-handed grip. Okay. I'll roll for Iman. Well, Iman, you roll for us. I'll roll for the enemy.
Okay.
He's failed.
Oh, pass.
You've succeeded.
That's gotta be a pass.
Yeah, if you win, go to 107. We do. You manage to weave past your opponent's defenses and connect. The squire grunts with pain. Your damage depends on the skill you used.
Two-handed.
Okay, so brawling damage, which is 4d6 plus 1d6 for two-handed hafted choice.
Are you doing that?
Yeah. 23.
It's pretty good.
Your opponent is wearing a gambeson and an open helm, which gives him 5 points of armor protection. If he succeeded with his skill roll, he also gains 2 points of parry protection. Has he got a parry skill? No, that's on his fighting skill roll. Okay.
But he failed.
So 18. So he's now down to 12 hit points. No. He's now down to 18 hit points. He's taken 12 damage. Is he dead? Okay. No. So we return to 105 and fight another round. So we've hit him.
So sorry. So we rolled 23 damage, and then
his gambeson absorbed 5.
5. So he took 18 points of damage.
No, his gambeson. Oh yeah, he took 18. Yes, that's 18 damage. Is he at half or fewer? Yes. 190. Yes, he's at half or fewer.
Okay.
You have sorely wounded. That was my maths going wrong. You have sorely wounded your opponent. He throws down his staff. I yield, he cries. Do you want to keep going? If this is your first victory, you have time to fight another opponent before the Bohort ends.
Spare it.
Or we can quit. No, we can fight another opponent, or we can quit fighting now.
Oh, okay, yeah, fight another.
Oh no, we have to spare him. That's the rule.
Okay, good. Yeah, fight another.
So fight another or quit the fight.
Right.
Fight another. Daniel, fight another or quit fighting.
Fight another.
Fight
Yeah.
another.
Yep.
Okay. Do we go with sword grip or two-handed grip?
Sword.
Let's go sword
Sword.
this time. Come on, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
All right, let's go sword.
Okay. Chat seem to agree. Daniel says two-handed, but Brian
No, I
says
said-
sword. But
I said sword.
so we're at 4-1. 4-2. We just had a few more people arrive in chat, so we're choosing grip of fighting. Do we go two-handed grip or sword grip with our staff? So if you're one of the people who's just crept in, we're at 4 votes for sword grip, 2 votes for two-handed grip. We are voting. We're learning Pendragon combat at the moment.
Get Morton, fellas.
Get brought in. If I don't get another vote within the next 10 seconds or so, we'll take it as we're going sword grip. And if you're new to the stream tonight, there is a new thing in StreamYard to put the chat on the main screen. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that, you're all famous.
Yes. Joker, you've already voted.
No, I think you just.
But I am
to see
also
yourself
watching the
on
stream as
screen.
well for you.
Yeah.
Ah, good man.
He's like, yes, ego. I need to see myself.
Who's winning on tonight's experience gathering in the stream chat?
Oh, sorry, one sec.
Or have they turned it off?
I'm seeing Andy as number 1, but he's got the same as Halakar and Saxius and Coco and Brian and Robert and R. Hampton.
Okay.
It's like it has a cap per like amount of time on the stream or something.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know exactly how it works.
So like, I don't know, we're still in our first hour, and I think possibly just spitballing, you know, from hour 1 to 2, it's like, oh, now you can get more XP.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay, so we are.
I'm gonna see my guests.
Yes,
out.
Brian.
I'll be back in 5
Okay.
minutes.
All right.
Cheers.
So, do one of you two want to, either of you two in Albert, or is it just Demands in Albert? I'll do the rolling then. I'll roll for us. We have a sword skill of 6. Oh, that's a success. Our opponent this time is fighting using his staff as a two-handed hafted weapon with a skill of 10.
Uh-oh.
He's fumbled. Oh.
I can roll now if you need me to.
No, I mean, yeah. If you're in, I have just rolled for this.
I've
round.
only just come in.
Yeah.
Just come in, yeah.
No worries. So we win. So we roll damage, and this time it's 6d6. That is a 22. He wears a nasal helm and gambeson, giving him 6 points of armor protection. Okay, so that takes it down to 16. He hasn't even had a partial success, so he's had no parry protection. Right, so if you're parrying, If you're fighting, if you don't win, but you still succeed on your roll, then you get to parry some of the damage. Okay, see how that works. Right, so yeah, we have just, if you win, go to 107. He's at half or fewer hit points. So we've beaten him. We've beaten 2 opponents. Absolutely bloody marvelous. They completely outrated us as well. Our fighting skill's terrible. The idea of crying over a 20 just feels dirty and wrong. Yeah, it's a roll under system, Halakar. Like any, I mean, in Call of Cthulhu, you do not want to roll 100. Oh no. Oh no. You want to roll 0, 1. Okay, so we go back to 92. Okay, the only thing we've got left is to go to the market, or we can bed down we can end the day. So market or end the day.
Market.
Joker?
Market.
Chat, market or end the day. Brian says market. Coco says market. Are the pretty maids at the market? Very probably. So I'm taking that question as a market, given as I've answered in the likely affirmative. Halakar's going to say, yeah, we go where the girlies are.
That's funny.
Girls.
Wenches.
Wenches.
Sorry, ladies.
Okay, as you move through the market stalls, you clearly hear savage barking, angry bellowing, and excited cheering that marks a bull baiting contest. You know of these by reputation, but have never seen one yourself. Your understanding is that a bull is secured by a chain, and a pack of Alants, mastiff-like war dogs, is set upon it, harrying it until it collapses from blood loss, at which point it is butchered and roasted. Bets are placed on how long the bull will last, how many dogs will be injured or killed, and other gruesome unknowns. It's perhaps a mercy that the tight-packed gaggle of peasants blocks your view of the scene, if the horrible sounds coming from within the ring are any indication. As you listen, you see a familiar face walking towards you out of the crowd. It is Arthur. He's fighting back tears. It's awful, he explains as he approaches you. The bull, the dogs, a hunt is one thing, but this is butchery. An idea of how to cause a bit of mischief and perhaps make things right forms in your mind. You could cause a distraction, allowing Arthur to sneak back and free the bull from its chain. This would bring the baiting to an end, but it would cause a great deal of mayhem. Do we go ahead with this fiendish plan, or do we turn away in disgust and leave the market?
I don't know.
Oh, flip a coin.
Yeah.
Are we disgusted, or are we up for some fiendish mayhem?
Let's do mayhem.
Yeah, mayhem.
Halakar's in that sort of mood. Just looking at Halakar's picture. I'm sure I've asked you before, Halakar, but where are you in your picture?
Behind it.
Yeah.
So, fiendish plan. Okay, Project Mayhem. Okay. 97. As Arthur moves back into the crowd to get into position, you clamber up on a large barrel of ale and clear your throat. In order to catch the audience's attention, you will have to succeed at an orate roll. Before making the roll, you may attempt an unopposed merciful trait roll. A success earns a check, but with a critical success, the trait adds +5 to a rate before rolling. Okay, so let's try a merciful roll. We've got 13 in merciful. Do you want to roll, Joker?
Yes.
Go on then. Taking an Okinawa.
16.
16.
Did it show up, or do I need to refresh? Okay. Disconnected.
It hasn't shown up.
I got 16.
16
Unless
is
you
a
want me
fail.
to roll again for the stream.
No, 16's a fail. Okay, so roll against our oration skill. Roll again, Joker.
I will.
Oh, that's a
Oh.
success. That's a success. A success earns a check, but a critical success, check the trait. Oh, and add plus. Oh, right, okay. We don't check the oration skill. You know it will take something really compelling to distract this crowd from their blood sport, and the idea quickly presents itself. Oh yay! Oh yay! The Lord Mayor sends his regards and the following announcement. Until further notice, all contests pitting animal against animal or animal against man are herewith banned within an 8-furlong radius of the city walls. As you had hoped, your little speech pulls most of the crowd's attention. But you very quickly realise that your miscalculation as you see the sea of angry faces looking up at you. Many begin hurling abuse at you and hurl a few clods of dung picked up off the ground as well. Then all is chaos as Arthur slips the bull's chain from its post and the frenzied animal charges into the crowd. It is every person for themselves. Your blood turns to ice as the crowd scatters and you see the bullock charging straight at you. Okay, Joker, we're doing an opposed roll. Roll movement rate.
4.
Oh, you've done a success. Let me roll for the bull. That was the bull's charge skill of 10. The bull fails. We get out of the way. So, if you win or tie, go to 100. The bull crashes into the barrel you're standing on, but you've already leaped and grabbed the overhead awning. Thankfully, it holds your weight long enough to allow the bull and dogs to charge past. As the sergeants and knights come streaming in, you make yourself scarce. Okay, all we can do now is we can say we've seen enough for the day. So 121. Move, bull, get out the way. Things we mentioned that song earlier. The day which began so early and has been so full of wonders is catching up with you at last. Your senses buzzing. You make your way back to the inn and collapse into sleep at the foot of Sir Ector's bed. Tomorrow the tournament begins in earnest. By the end of the day, Britain will have a new High King. Cows may come and cows may go, but the bull in here goes on forever. It's inevitable. Mayhem.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes.
Sorry, what did I miss?
We disrupted the bull baiting successfully.
No, how was the second fight?
Oh, we won.
Oh, good.
The dice have been. Our knight has only failed one roll so far.
Squire.
Our squire, yeah. Whereas your opponents have failed everything. If we were playing D&D right now, you'd be a party who are missing all the time. Whereas
Yes.
my monsters would have kicked your asses.
Yes.
But this is a game where you have to roll low.
Well, you know me. Roll under systems like me.
They do, yes, because you can't roll high for shit.
I can't. The only thing I'm good at rolling is joints. I mean, what?
Well, hey! The day dawns. Oh,
I forget what game we were playing. Rolled 2 1s and then a 2. I'm like, dude, how can you be so unlucky?
I think that was S3, wasn't it?
What?
I think that's when we were playing S3. Are the critical hits in this? Yes, there are. Yes, there are, Brian. Hello, Nosorian. Good evening.
Hey, Nos.
Nice.
The day dawns overcast and cold, but the city is already up to greet the weak sun. Such is the excitement for the New Year's tournament. Your morning at the inn is spent in a flurry of activity, gathering the equipment needed for the tournament fight, helping Sir Ector prepare his hauberk, helm and shield, feeding and preparing his charger down in the stables, that and countless other tasks, which keep you running about non-stop until the sun is peeking up over the rooftops. Arthur is every bit as harried and hurried in his duties for Sir Kay, so it is with some sense of relief that you both mount your rounces and fall in line behind your knights. You exchange smiles, letting your agitation give way to excitement. Along the way, Sir Ector briefs you. We are about to be divided into 2 cohorts, the Red Knights and the Blue Knights, and will fight a mock battle called a melee. Knights can earn tally marks for performing great deeds on the field, such as knocking an opponent off their horse, taking a foe captive, or even performing a particularly thrilling display of martial prowess. The Lord Mayor of Londinium himself and the guild masters of the city sit as judges and keep a record of our marks. At the end of the day, the knight with the most tally marks is declared the Knight of Honour, and in this instance acclaimed the new High King of Britain. As squires, you are to ride onto the field with us, but you are not to fight. Your job is to hold back and look for ways to assist us, to replace a broken lance, to drag us off the field if we're knocked out, or to escort any prisoners we may capture back to the reset, which is our end of the field. Your head spins with all the rules and new duties, but you are determined to do right by Sir Ector. At the tournament grounds, a large, noisy scrum has formed around tables where hurried heralds are assigning overexcited knights to their cohorts. Sir Ector and Kay dismount and take their place at the back of the mob when you notice that Ector is without his sword. You grab it from his charger and hustle forth to help him belt it around his thick waist. He grunts in approval. "Whelp, fetch my sword," says Kay absent-mindedly. Arthur turns pale. I forgot it back at the inn." Kay's face turns crimson with anger. "Oh, Arthur," says Ector disapprovingly. "Quick now, there's a good lad. Go back and get it, or your brother will be without his sword on the field." Arthur is off like a dart, shouting promises to be back with the sword in a twinkling. Minutes pass. Ector and Kay give their names to the heralds and are assigned to the Red Knights. Kay keeps looking about for Arthur with murderous eyes. "What could be keeping that inattentive fool?" He turns to you. "Go find the whelp and bring him back with my sword, or so help me." You do not need to be told twice. Just as a little reminder, due to the hierarchy in this game, we cannot refuse a direct order. Kay is our superior. Most of Londinium is at the tournament, and you run through Newgate and down the city's empty streets. It is quite eerie, really. The city, filled with so many people just this morning, is now as quiet as a cemetery. Your heart is in your throat when you reach the inn. You find Arthur, but he sits against the front door, head on his folded knees. He looks up at your approach, and you see his eyes are rimmed red. "They closed up the inn," he wails, and bangs the door with his fist. "Everyone is at the tournament. I can't get Kay's sword. Oh, what am I to do?" Your mind races, and several solutions suggest themselves. You could try breaking into the inn. This is an emergency, and surely the Lord will forgive some petty larceny in the name of fetching Kay's sword. But then you suddenly remember there's another sword that no one is using, the one in the cathedral courtyard. Do we try to break into the inn to fetch Kay's sword? Do we tell Arthur about the sword in the stone? Or do we go to retrieve the sword from the stone ourselves?
Ourselves.
Yeah, let's do ourselves.
Tell him about the sword and the stone.
So do we tell? So we have 2 votes for go ourselves, 1 vote for telling Arthur about it. What do chat want to do? Who remembers the story?
I don't.
No, Saurian wants to pull it himself. Coco says tell Arthur.
I go with the Saurian. I always pull it myself.
Hey!
I was thinking of making that joke, but I thought,
Brian
It
says
saves-
do it ourselves.
It saves disappointment if you pull yourself.
well, I mean, I dare say it's a bit low-hanging fruit, you know?
Yeah. I'm sorry. It had to be said.
Did you miss my pun there, Daniel? Did you miss my pun? I said low-hanging fruit.
No, I got it.
Halakar says it was Arthur's responsibility. Send him. Correct, but we go by we're a democracy here. This is proof as to why democracy, while a well-intentioned form of government, does not always work.
Does it ever?
So we're at 4-3 at the moment. Does anybody else wish to vote? Do we have anybody else?
I can't remember
Andy's
the guy's name.
And Andy's probably gone to sleep.
ZZZZZ. Just wait for the Zs to come up in chat.
Yes.
We'll start calling.
I can't remember the
start calling
dude.
Daniel.
Was it Sadhguru? But he was like, democracy is of the people, by the people, for the people, except the people are retarded.
Robert says tell Arthur. We're now at 4-4.
4-4?
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm just migrating to the shed.
Okay. So I'm just going to sit and wait for a tie-break vote to come in. So anybody joining chat now, we are at the point where Sir Kay does not have his sword. And we have a choice. We saw a sword in a stone. You've only ever known 2 people named Arthur, and they were father and son. So there were 2 Arthurs of the same Arthur. Their father and son. That was a very bad pun. So do we send Arthur to pull the sword from the stone, or do we try to pull the sword from the stone ourselves? Or do we try to break into the inn to get Kay's real sword? We're up to 9 in chat. So whoever's just arrived, do we send Arthur to pull the sword from the stone, or do we pull the sword from the stone ourselves?
Shall I ask my mum? I can ask my mum.
Does she know the legend of King Arthur?
You know the story of King Arthur?
Yeah.
Okay, so should we go and pull the sword out of the stone ourselves, or should we send him to do it?
Well, he should do it.
He should do it.
Because that's the story, isn't it? Nobody else can pull it out, apparently.
Well, Iman's mom has said Arthur, but Straw Piglet has just arrived and says we do it ourselves.
Well, I gotta go with Mom. So I'm
Huh?
changing.
You're changing. Okay, you're
I'm going
changing.
with Mom.
Yes. For those who don't know the legend of King Arthur, only the right and truthful king could pull this sword from the stone. And that is Arthur. Hello, Thruxus.
I Thruxus, you know me.
Thruxus he's a gardener as well.
Gardner. Is that what you call it?
So 6-4 then, the votes in the end towards sending Arthur, which is the right thing to do because it's following the legend. 125. You pull Arthur to his feet. Sir Ector showed me another sword in the courtyard of St. Paul's down yonder, but you're about to say it was stuck in an anvil. Before you can finish your sentence, Arthur bolts down the empty street towards the cathedral. He will see for himself soon enough, you say to yourself as you take off after him. You arrive at the empty courtyard gate in time to see Arthur approaching the sword in the stone, his hand extended. A light snow begins to fall. You watch as he steps up to the stone, reaches out and lightly closes his hand around the sword's hilt. There is a sound of steel scraping on metal, and your mouth falls open as Arthur pulls the sword straight out of the anvil as if it were from an oiled scabbard. Arthur's face splits into a wide grin, and he beams at you. You've saved my skin, no mistake, he said. Oh, I heard myself then. And off he goes again, this time back to the tournament grounds. You follow in mute shock. Surely someone must have loosened it. You arrive back at the tournament grounds to find Sir Kay pacing up and down the sidelines. Most of the knights are already on the field, and the sound of cheering crowd fills your ears. The melee has begun. It couldn't be us, though, Straw, because only the king can do it, and the king is Arthur. That's the whole point.
Yeah, it's almost
What
like
is
there's
the
a reason why I said Arthur should pull it.
Yeah. What in the name of Jesus took you so long? He bellows. In the next moment, he sees the sword in Arthur's hand. And whose sword is that? I found it, Kay, says Arthur, fighting for breath. It's a good sword, I promise. Kay takes it in his hand and gives it a couple of swings, looking impressed despite his anger. Before he can say anything else, though, Sir Ector rides up and practically jumps off his horse. Kay, where did you get that sword? His eyes are wide with astonishment. I found it, father, says Kay without hesitation. You found it, says Ector, somewhat incredulous. Well, no, he did, Kay points to Arthur, and Ector takes his youngest son by the shoulders, looking him square in the eye. Is what Kay said true, son? Says Ector, his voice husky with emotion. Yes, father. Please don't be mad at him. This is all my fault. I stole the sword from the courtyard of St. Paul's. I shall put it back at once, if only you'll let me. Arthur's wails of protest draw the attention of several nearby knights, who themselves had not yet entered the melee. One, an aging man of regal bearing, who wears the arms of Cameliard on his surcoat, rushes forward. What's that? He's drawn it. The sword in the stone. Others quickly take up the cry. The sword! He's drawn the sword!
It's amazing what you can do with a pencil and paper.
It probably is a Vorpal sword, but the thing is, Straw, we couldn't have got it. It would not have come out of the anvil for us. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
The news spreads like fire across ripened wheat fields. I don't believe it. I have to see this myself. Make him draw it again. To the churchyard.
Make him pull it out again.
Then all is madness. A throng of people surges away from the tournament grounds towards the city. Sir Ector throws Arthur on the back of his nervous Rouncy. Ride for St. Paul's and put the sword back, lad. Put it back, Ector says, with fear in his eyes. You'd best do the same, Ector shouts at you, lest you be trampled. Hop on! You swing into the saddle behind Arthur and join the press of knights streaming through Newgate. Fortunately, with your head start, you can avoid the worst of the press. Was it a +5 of sharpness? Okay. That was Excalibur, though, wasn't it? And Excalibur is different to the sword in the stone.
Is it?
He receives Excalibur from the lady in the lake. Think the
I
sword
thought
in the stone.
Excalibur was the sword in the stone, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think it is.
I'm not as familiar with the the lore and stuff as you guys are.
Murmuring crowds of horses, commoners, clergymen, knights, squires, lords, and ladies pack St. Paul's courtyard and surround the cathedral steps in a wide arc. Luckily, you and Arthur made it just in time before they arrived. You dismount and approach the anvil and stone with Arthur. A single horn sounds. The crowd suddenly grows quiet as you see two wizened old men being escorted from the rectory to the top of the cathedral stairs behind the anvil and stone. One is dressed in a gilded bishop's cassock, the other in ragged, filthy robes. It's the Archbishop, St. Dubricus, someone shouts from the crowd. Ave Sanctus Dubricus, Ave, cries a pious Roman lady, hands clasped. The old man kindly smiles and makes the sign of the cross in the air. Dozens of people drop to their knees to accept the blessing. The old man... Oh, already read that bit. And that's Merlin, the Archdruid of Britain, standing next to him. Why is he here? Says Sir Ector with a haunted look, finally catching up to you and Arthur, with a mounted Sir Kay close behind. You notice that Merlin and Ector are looking at each other with deep meaning. Then, with the crowd looking on, Arthur replaces the sword. It slips back into its slot in the anvil with a metallic hiss. He steps back and watches the courtyard fill with more knights, fresh from the tournament melee. Many are dripping sweat, and some nurse minor wounds. Arthur looks very young all of a sudden, beside the sword in the stone. A mighty man, powerful of build and arrogant of aspect, jumps from his saddle. You know this man by reputation. It is King Lot of Lothian, one of the greatest warriors in all of Britain. He shoves Arthur aside. If this thing is going to move, it'll move for me, he declares to the crowd. Lot, 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 his household knights chant in encouragement. He grabs the hilt with both mailed hands and puts all his bear-like strength into the effort, but the sword will not move. He tries again with no success, his face now red with exertion and frustration. Let the boy try, shouts someone. Was it Merlin? And then many more shout in agreement. Yes, let the boy try. Lot stares down at Arthur with angry eyes and steps aside to rejoin his knights. Sir Ector, now beside Arthur, nods to him, and Arthur lays one hand gently upon the sword and easily pulls it from the anvil. The crowd, noble and commoner alike, gasps. He then slides it back into place. Another knight dismounts and shouts, It's my turn. I, King Uriens of Gore, shall pull the sword. And pushes his way to the rock. Like Lot before him, Uriens grabs the sword and tugs and pulls, and then tries to manhandle it free, giving his full armoured shoulder to the task, but the sword does not budge. As Uriens walks away flustered, the lad steps again and pulls the sword effortlessly free. The High King, shouts someone. He's the High King. It's the prophecy. The boy drew the sword, shouts King Leodegrance from the crowd. This boy is the Pendragon. A few people in the crowd lower to their knees. Not while I live, shouts Lot, who draws his own sword and strides towards Arthur. His bodyguards dismount and fall into place a few steps behind him. You were the one who saw Arthur pull the sword for the first time. You now see Lot advancing with murder in his eyes. You know the right thing to do is to speak up in Arthur's defense. But can you summon the courage in this moment of decision? Right. This calls for an all-important trait check.
I'm ready.
I need you to roll a valorous versus cowardly.
Valorous of
15.
oh, that's a
15 or
D100.
lower. No, you don't want to roll a D100. D20.
Yep, that's
A 6. A success. If you succeed at valorous, check the trait. Okay. We check that. Oh, we've already got it checked. We can't check it twice. If you succeed at valorous, check the trait, go to 131. If you succeed at cowardly, check the trait, go to 132. If you fail both, you may choose your course of action. Okay, we succeeded at valorous. That is what we must do. Wait, you cry, arms wide, standing between King Lot and Arthur. Lot halts, turning his furious gaze on you. You swallow hard, then continue. I saw Arthur, this youth here, pull the sword the first time. None of you could pull it when you tried. He is our new king. Lot takes 2 steps towards you and strikes you with his mailed left hand, inflicting 6 points of damage. It is like being struck by a boulder. You feel your back teeth crack and you drop to the ground as blood gushes from a gash on your cheek. The blow ignites the passions of all assembled, and a terrific melee suddenly breaks out as knights from many different kingdoms rush towards the cathedral steps. Through the sickening red haze, you see Arthur pull the blade once more. It seems to your eyes that the steel flashes with a strange ghost light. Arthur then steadies himself against the anvil and defends himself against Lot. Oh, yes, a bit slap.
It's
So
on, bitches.
Well, you could, I mean, no, sorry, says Merlin's a druid, not a wizard. He was sort of Saxon times, Old England. So to make it realistic, the druids were sort of practitioners of what they believed to be magic. So it's the same thing.
Alchemy and the like.
Yes. Now Leodegrance and his men and a half dozen other kings and many knights swarm between King Arthur and Lot. King Lot and Arthur. The boy drew the sword, says Leodegrance. He's by right the Pendragon of Britain. No beardless boy shall ever be my king, shouts King Lot. Nor mine, says someone. Nor mine, come other voices. I say he is my king, shouts Leodegrance, and he suddenly kneels before Arthur and proffers his sword. Arthur, with tears streaming down his face, gently takes it, saying, with a strangely mature countenance, as I am king, I accept your offer. Lot, seeing that he and his men are surrounded and outnumbered, throws his blunted sword to the ground with a clatter. I'll be back with a sword that won't fail me, he says, baring his teeth, and leaps atop his horse. His guards pivot and spur their steeds, nearly trampling those left in the crowd. Others are doing the same, and a reproachful howl goes up from the crowd as they go. Hail, King Arthur, shouts Sir Ector, thrusting his sword aloft. The whelp? Cries Sir Kay, looking astonished. Hail, King Arthur, echoes the crowd, and now Kay joins in as again. Hail, King Arthur, and again. Hail, King Arthur. You look up to see Archbishop Dubricus on the cathedral steps and catch him nodding and smiling at Merlin, who smiles back and bows his head. Merlin's eyes suddenly dart to yours, and he winks at you, then disappears amongst the throng. Oh, we have some artwork.
Oh.
The boy king pulling the sword from the stone, or the anvil, whatever. It is a stone anvil, basically. You shake your head in amazement at the cheering crowds who have now lifted Arthur on their shoulders. It looks like your dear friend Arthur, with whom you have shared a bench, mucked stables, and polished armour, is now to be the High King of Britain. But what will your fate be, young squire? If you successfully freed the bull, tried to pull the sword from the stone for Arthur, or defended Arthur against King Lot, go to 135.
We defended him.
We freed the bull as well. Otherwise, you have 7 years of service at Sir Ector's side ahead of you, and in time you may well be knighted. Your actions during this adventure presage your future. What kind of knight would you like to be? But no, we go to 135. Right, so we freed the bull, okay, which is an honourable deed. We didn't try to pull the okay, but we did one honourable deed. We must knight you first, I suppose, Sir Ector says to Arthur amidst the jostling and tumult. Arthur nods slowly as everything sinks in, and then turns to you. And I will need a squire I can trust, he says, with a twinkle in his eye. You grin at each other. You have 7 years of service as the king's squire ahead of you, and in time you may well be knighted. Your actions during this adventure presage your future. What knight would you like to be? Okay. So we could, if we'd not done any of those things, we would have been Ector's squire, but now we are Arthur's squire.
Nice.
Go through the prompts. Oh, you have played a part, however small, in the birth of a new era. The boy king, as Arthur will soon be called, has many challenges ahead, but his reign will leave its mark on Britain and the world forever. Right, go through the prompts on table 2, story awards, and tally up your points, positive and negative. Then compare them to the totals given on page 3. What type of knight are you? Your final source determines how far you are fated to rise in the knightly hierarchy. Okay. For each skill check, one, two, three. 3 skill checks. 6 points. For each passion check. No. For each chivalrous trait check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. That's so we're now on 8. For each other trait check, except as noted below. Okay, we'll come to that in a bit. If you killed the boar single-handedly, no. If a noblewoman gave you her favour, no. If you set the bull free, +1, 15. For each round you withheld damage dice. Each round you withheld damage dice in the Bowhawk, +1. For each opponent defeated in the Bowhawk, +2, 17. If you told Arthur about the sword in the stone, takes us to 19. Did we try to retrieve the sword?
We get 2. We defeated 2 opponents, so that's 19.
No, for each one it's +1 for each.
No, there was +1 for withholding the damage and +2 for defeating.
We didn't withhold the damage.
Yeah, but we got 2 +2s, didn't we?
No, we got 2 +1s.
What?
Yeah, for each opponent defeated in the Bowhawk, +1.
Oh, I thought you said +2.
So we're on. So I've lost track. 14, 15, 17. Told Arthur about the sword in the stone takes us to 19. Did we defend Arthur in the face of King Lot's anger? Yes. 22. If Arthur made you his squire, +5, 27. Did we linger in the lands of the good folk? No. For each check opposed to a religious or chivalrous trait. Yeah, 1. So what were we on? We were on 27, so we dropped back.
What
Yeah,
did we have that opposed?
Reckless. It
Okay.
opposed prudent.
I'm not arguing. I just want to learn. So yeah.
So that takes us to 26. More than 18. We are destined to be a knight of the Round Table. You are knighted by Sir Ector or King Arthur and go on to a great career. You are among the first to receive the personal invitation of the king to join his esteemed martial order, the Knights of the Round Table, a few years hence. Your name is destined to be remembered in tales. There we go. That was the Choose Your Own Adventure that comes with the Pendragon starter set. We started it last Friday. I got some of the rules a bit wrong last Friday. I got those ironed out today. I am planning on running a proper role-playing game session of this. But I think that session has really helped me, and the reading I've done last couple of days of the rules has really helped me get to grips with the system. We've had our first combat. We've seen the skills in proper use. We've seen how they can be applied, and we've seen how the bonuses can be applied. So I think a successful session, and the dice for our squire were absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. It's really helped. So our little squire will become a knight of the round table, but he's got 7 years of service for King Arthur first.
Which knight will he become?
Robert.
Sir Daffyd.
Daffyd.
Oh yeah, our name is Di, isn't it? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes.
We've just been talking about
Yes.
names in chat.
Have you
I came up
circumspect the deep?
I went circumference the round.
Circumvent the indirect.
Circumvent the
Yes.
convent.
Surly the Grumpy. Yes.
So when we get to play this, do we all have pre-gen characters with names, or do we get to choose who we are?
I'll let you choose your own names. There are pre-gen characters who are already named. Names are all right. Another reason why I can't really run this tonight is I went on to download the PDFs so I could send you PDFs of the characters to choose a character, and apparently they send out the PDFs manually. So I had to send their technical their support an email saying, "I'm just registering my receipt of having bought this. Please send me the PDF." So I'll be able to send you those PDF characters as soon as we have them, because I can't create the characters for you because the character creation is in the main game rulebook, not in the start.
I was going to say, buying the book, I find it weird that you had to ask for permission to print them out, send them over though.
I guess, yeah, it's a case of
unless it's like like the Microsoft subscription code kind of
No,
thing.
he doesn't need permission. He needs to claim the PDFs.
I need to claim the PDF because what it is, they emailed me the receipt, so I've replied to the receipt email saying, "Please send me this PDF."
I need to do that for horror still.
Yes. So that's how it works. You reply to the receipt email, and they then assign the PDF to your account on the Chaosium site. So you will need an account on the Chaosium site, Iman.
I think I already have one.
Okay.
Because I needed to make one because you... Yeah, never mind. But yeah, I needed to make one anyway.
I was going to say, did we have to register to get our tickets anyway?
Nope. Different
No,
website.
that wasn't on. That was a different website. Yeah. That was the sort of like that was the portal they used to run the convention.
Hey, I like Pendragon so far. I mean, you know.
Yeah. It's as Andy said earlier in the stream, for people who scream about player agency, I can understand that you don't have total freedom to do what you want when you want to do it. You have to abide by the knightly code. You have to abide by the hierarchy that exists in the world. If you refuse an order, then you can get into a lot of trouble. You can be stripped of your status immediately.
It's like playing a Cavalier in second edition.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love Cavalier. I played a lot of Cavaliers. So yeah.
And to say the way the skill system works is the player's agency comes from choosing how they want to approach a problem by invoking a relevant skill or trait or whatever. And then they choose which version of the trait they want to roll against first. And only if you fail that roll do you then roll against the inverted one. And then if you succeed on that one, you have to take that option. That option. If you fail again, you choose. So it pays to roll high. If you roll high all the time, you always choose your outcome.
So that means I'll never be choosing, right?
No, you'll be, but well, you will. You'll choose which way you want to go each time, and roll
Yeah,
low
yeah.
and succeed every time. So yeah, you roll low all the time. So yeah, but so the crowns are to do with the chat experience, Raw Piglet. It's something that YouTube have made. We can't turn it off. It's in there. It's activated. Yeah, it's all to do with making comments and whether you donate and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, not
All that.
to drain anyone's wallet, but if you give a super chat or donate, memberships and stuff, you get more XP.
You get XP, but no one's ever gained a level yet. I don't know how that works.
And if you talk,
and you lose XP if I start a new stream, so it's really pointless. It's really, really pointless. It's a really
Piglet. If you talk lots, you get timed out.
No.
Can I do that with my wife?
Have you seen that episode of Black Mirror where you can block people in real life?
Yeah.
That's what you want, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's a YouTube thing. They've added it to chat. I might be able to switch it off. I don't know.
I'm not sure where the setting would be.
No.
I don't have it happen with your face or Discord stuff, but the Discord channel I'm on for my Walking Dead game, I keep getting, oh, you gained another level. I'm like, so what do I get?
Yeah, it's just spamming sort of stuff. Yeah, you can add a leveling experience bot to Discord. I haven't bothered.
Well, what do you get? I mean,
what do you get? You get bugger all. It's for us nerds who like to just harvest levels for the point of it, for the sake of it.
You get nothing except warm fuzzies, and maybe not even.
Well, then, unless I'm getting money, I don't care. Money or bullets or booze. Other than that, I want to hear about it. But, yeah. Okay.
So, what's Iman says he rather likes this, how Pendragon sounds. What about the other two of you? What are you thinking?
I like it.
I like it. I like the like you can have an idea to go one way, but then the dice. It's the unpredictability kind of thing I like. It's kind of delving into my improv mind. It's like, I want to go this way. No, dice tell you to go this way. Damn, the audience gave me a suggestion I need to work with.
Yeah.
That, and I like the like I said, I played Cavaliers a lot. I like that whole honor system. You know
But
what I
were
mean?
you very cavalier about it?
Hey, Straw Piglet. No, it's an RPG. This is just a tutorial. Right. This what I'm showing you now is a free download from the Chaosium site, and this is this Sword in the Stone adventure. And I believe this is an RPG version of it. I think. Because that is the image of Arthur drawing the sword from the stone. Not sure, but this has actually got some of the rules in there. So you can download this for free from the Chaosium website, and you get some wonderfully grotesque artwork. You get all these little bits of artwork. Look at that little fella.
Head on legs and no balls.
So you get some basic rules as to how things work. You get some artwork, and there are some fully fledged example characters here. This is the adventure of this sword tournament. It uses different characters, right? It's okay. I think this is a different take on it. There's a map of London, or Londinium.
Londinium.
Things that can happen in London. More bizarre artwork. The sword. Tournament melee encounters. Okay, so I'm guessing in this you play knights who are actually fighting in the tournament. So it is something different. It's not the same as the one we've just played, clearly.
Well, it's probably the same time, but just a different event in that time.
Yeah. Okay, so there's enemy commander. You might have a chance to fight. And these are the pre-generated characters you could use. We have Sir Avalok. Cheers, Halakar. Right. When you create a knight character, you have one trait that is your signature trait. And you must, when presented with that situation, you must always pick to roll against that first rather than the reverse one.
Sure.
So Avalok's signature trait is that he's Daniel.
Okay.
Your signature trait is set at 16. And he's indulgent. He likes to drink and party. So when presented with a situation which involves drinking and partying and eating too much, he will attempt to do that.
Makes sense.
Yep. He's basically a wisecracking, smart aleck knight who likes to drink, likes to game, likes to gamble, but he is also quite spiritual and quite modest and merciful. So he's not a bad guy. He's just very fun-loving.
Just likes to enjoy himself, yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Sir Clarion, who is your stuffy paladin, absolute paladin. He's
Devere.
He is Devere. He is just. That is his key trait. So he will always try to do the right thing. He's also more valorous. So he will always try to. He basically has two key traits here. He'll always try to do the right thing, and he'll always attempt to be brave. But he's probably a little bit. He's not too arrogant. He's got an arrogant look about him, but he isn't. Here we have Dame Quenhild.
Welsh.
Who is? Her religion is Wodinic, so she is of Norse extraction.
Look at them cheapboats. She's probably on the borders of Welsh.
Well, we got a Viking. We got a Viking one.
And she is energetic and valorous.
Ooh, hello.
Apparently she talks very loudly and hits things with a big axe.
Definitely Welsh.
Yeah, I agree. But could be not.
And she's arrogant and reckless as well.
Definitely Welsh.
Yeah,
she's got proud 14, reckless 15.
Ouch.
And she is also very indulgent. So she is not your typical knightly fodder.
Guess who I'm going to be hitting on?
She's also not particularly attractive.
I don't care.
She's got an appeal of 10.
With my habits, 10
What does reckless do? If you roll against your reckless, you've got like cautious or reckless. If you try to be cautious, but you get reckless instead. Caution goes to the wind. You've got to do the reckless thing. But
The traits themselves don't really do anything. It's what you roll that determines what happens.
yes, those traits don't do anything for you. They channel your role playing and affect how the scene plays out. Right, this is Sir Evrain. He's into the ladies. He's energetic. He's valorous, but also look at his appeal score, 15. That's as high as you can start with.
Oof.
Square-jawed.
He's got
Handsome.
that magnetic charisma.
He has, yes. Broad shoulders, kind eyes, smooth complexion, family characteristic, seductive. So, yes. But he's also a pagan.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Hey, Doc.
Hello, Doc. This is Camelot. Around the Camelot time, as long as you could wield a... what's the name of the Viking sagas? That woman who was really nasty in the Viking sagas. Oh, the one who was said to have thrown one of the heroes into a pit of snakes. I can't think.
It's the
No.
show. I don't know.
It's a TV show, yeah, but it's based on the actual sagas.
Yeah,
it's based on the stories, the legends. I can't think of her name. But no, I mean, certainly in Saxon times there were, and this is very early Middle Ages, this is Anglo-Saxon. Saxon times there were warrior queens. You've just got to look at Boadicea. That's pre-Saxon. She was pre-Saxon. Yeah. Oh, Ragnar was thrown into the pit of snakes by the English king. I thought she had a hand in it.
Hello, Jason.
Lagertha is her name. Is it Lagertha?
Why do they think they invented the dark?
Right. Condensed about 800 years into 2 generations. Okay, so they played around with it. Right, fair enough. But no, it's Saxon times. Yeah, there are girly. There is a chance of girly nights because there's some. Okay, it does say in the book, roughly 1 in 20 nights are women, and in some parts of the country there are none.
Right. Who's that one from Game of Thrones?
They may well have Game of Thrones. Yeah.
That big blonde woman.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in real life is very attractive.
Jennifer Lawrence.
They did a good job.
They're really tall.
Badass.
The one with the dragon.
No.
Oh, right.
No, that's a prissy little bit. No, the knight that fought the hound.
The one who's about 6 foot. She's really tall.
Yeah. And she threw the hound off the cliff.
I know who you mean.
No, I always liked Dolores.
Daenerys
Ethan.
I said I didn't watch Vikings, but I mean I've seen the little clips appear on my shorts feed in YouTube.
My mum watched all of Vikings. She liked it, but yeah, historical accuracy was not its.
Well, the thing is, it's loosely based on the stories from the sagas, and and the sagas were very much like Greek myth and Roman myth, in that almost certainly there's some basis in things that happened, but the stories have been twisted over the years. Deeds have been exaggerated, all that sort of stuff. So because the stories were told orally for such a long time, they can't be taken as being historically accurate. But they've got there's an idea behind them, which may well have something similar may have happened, but quite exactly what it is, it's hard to pick it out. So this guy here, he's very generous, very energetic, but look at his lustful. He's got a lustful of 16, which means he can't choose to be chaste. When presented by a willing woman, you have to roll against lustful first. Only if you fail that roll can you ever go rolling against chaste or choose it. Yeah, they were written down by Christians who would have had an agenda to portray things in a certain way. That's absolutely correct, Doc. Absolutely correct. Yes.
Very, very good point.
Yeah. And Dame Tamura is the last one. So there's 3 men, 2 women in the pre-gen characters. And Dame Tamura, she's reckless, she's proud, so she's a big head. She's also pagan, and she's an equestrian, so she's really into her horsemanship, and she's skilled with the bow. That's her main skill.
Hello, Zara.
So she's really sort of a huntswoman sort of character. So those are the so there's 2 pagans, one there's a Christian, one Wodinic, and I think the first one's Christian as well. Yeah, 2 Christians. So there we go. Those are the characters. What's her weakness? Well,
Living.
Modesty. She has no modesty. She has no prudence. And she's not very chaste. So she's lust. So she's lustful, she's proud, she's reckless.
And desperate.
And she's not very worldly either. So those are spiritual. She has to choose a spiritual option. The player doesn't have a choice. So she is absolutely committed to her pagan beliefs. Prudence is it's caution, basically. Taking a cautious approach.
Yeah.
Taking care.
It's a good way of putting it. It's if you've ever heard a girl described as being a prude.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah,
that's chaste.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But
But prudence is caution. Yes. Yes. She is reckless. Yes. So it says, play her if you wish to play a knight adept with bow and arrow, or if you like a bit of the strange and mystical in your characters. Okay. There we go.
that is absolutely ludicrous, featuring mystical.
That doesn't mean anything to me. She's also illiterate. Literacy 0. Are they all illiterate?
I was going to say, is not everyone basically illiterate at this point?
Literacy 0. Literacy 3. So Avalok can basically write his name.
Or you can pick up a pen.
Yeah.
He knows what a quill is.
He knows what the letters are, but
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
What order they go in is another question.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's better than everyone else. They don't even know what the alphabet is, or if when was the alphabet like put together?
Well, it's from the Phoenicians, I believe, isn't it? Isn't it derived from the Phoenicians?
I don't know.
At least the ancient Greeks.
I know we always had alphabets, kind of in our own languages, but when did this like English, this sort of alphabet become a thing?
I don't know. I think it's come from it's Latin. It's come from the Latin, from the Romans, the Latin alphabet.
Yeah.
But
Now
the
you
numbers
just
they
started
use are actually
a
Arabic.
rabbit hole. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
up until 3 o'clock tonight looking this shit up.
Yeah, the alphabet is Roman, and the Romans derived it from I think they derived it from sort of Phoenicians, certainly from the east.
Yeah.
Because the Phoenicians were the first. I think they were the first to have a proper alphabet, and it all sort of spread out from there.
Roman letters and Arabic numerals. What a mixture.
Is it AI art? I don't think so. I don't believe. I know Chaosium have a rule: if you submit a piece of work to the repository for possible publication, there is a rule that you cannot use any AI.
Good. I like that.
It must either be self-created or self-sourced from a creator, or must be free domain stuff. It can't be AI and it can't be nicked from somebody.
Okay.
So they have those rules, I think, and
More power to the artists. Good, that's what we need.
yeah.
Well, the Indians only really added the 0. We still had the other numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it's all developed from over thousands of years, hasn't it? People have copied, taken bits, taken things that work,
Figured out what doesn't and thought, fuck that.
Yeah. Avaloc. Well, I know Avon, you know, the River Avon means river. So the River Avon is the river.
Like the Sahara Desert is the desert.
Yeah. And Mount Fuji is Mountain.
Yes. That's another one.
But the Japanese call it Fujiyama, which means Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
Mount Mountain. So if you would say Mount Fujiyama, it'd be Mount.
Yes.
But no, Avon comes from the Old English, or in Welsh, Afon, which means river or stream.
So Stratford upon Avon means Stratford upon a river.
Yes.
Which
It actually means it's on the River Avon anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That river is a tributary of the Severn, called the Avon.
Yes, Coco.
It might be River Lake. Yes.
I think there's a game, like a video game called Kingdoms of Avalon or some shit like that. Maybe I'm wrong.
There's a board game.
Is it
Avalon was a hit single for Brian Ferry of Roxy Music.
No, that doesn't
know that. There was a video game for this ZX Spectrum called Avalon, Dragon Talk of Avalon, about 1984-85. It was really good. But Avalon was the name of, isn't that where the King Arthur's Kingdom or something?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. It was.
It was their Heaven Island, right? Okay. So you go to Avalon, right?
I think Led Zeppelin mentioned them in one or two songs also.
So Avalon's a mythical island where it's taken me. Yeah, okay. I should have known that. I probably would have done a few years ago before I forgot.
Isn't that where the elves went in?
Avalon Hill is where they played games.
Yeah.
Iman, Avalon Hill was a games company.
Okay.
So this is a joke.
That's funny. You brought that up. I completely forgot about them.
No, I haven't seen Excalibur. I'm afraid, Straw Piglet.
It's kind of a letdown. Gotta pay attention. It's like, yeah.
So there we go. So, chat. What do you think? What do you like? Think about how this game sounds. I like the look of it. How well it'll play out for a long campaign, I don't know. But one thing I really like is that you go on an adventure, you go on a task, because the idea is that you have to give 40 days per year in direct service of your lord. He sends you on to a task which takes up that sort of 40 days. The rest of the year is assumed to be downtime. So each adventure, you play one adventure per year. And then whatever glory you've picked up during that adventure, you can then spend on your downtime to get a wife, invest in your lands, the peasantry, learn new skills, and hopefully produce an heir. Because that's the overall thing of the game. Hello, Elfbait.
Hey, Alfred.
Doc, the thing is, I don't watch films or TV shows that contain much blood. I didn't watch Game of Thrones. It's too gory for me. I am squeamish. I don't like visual representations of gore. I don't mind verbal representations. I don't mind hearing squelches, but I don't want to see it. So there's a lot of films that I've ruled out seeing because of my, I believe it's called hemophobia.
Fear of blood or seeing blood.
All right.
Well,
One
I mean,
movie you should never watch would be Gangs of New York.
Oh, awesome film. Yeah. Awesome film. But yeah.
I've heard it's meant to be very good, but
John could not watch it.
I know. It's an awesome film, but yeah, I agree.
Right, I need to see this film now.
My girl I was dating at the time, she's like, no wonder you're always in such a bad freaking mood. You watch crap like this all the time.
Let's put it like this, Iman. It's actually a film where Leonardo DiCaprio actually looks like he can act.
And yet, it's kind of cool because
must be a good film.
It's based on what actually was happening in New York City.
Yeah, but then again, he is surrounded by acting legends.
Yeah,
it's Daniel Day-Lewis, isn't it?
Yeah, he's the main one that Leonardo has to go up against.
Well, they had Daniel Day-Lewis, the big redheaded guy. What's the blonde that was in it? It was really good, but yeah, John wouldn't like it.
It's a 2-disc DVD. It's very good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one reason why I'm limited by the films that I watch.
See, I'm kind of the opposite of you in the sense that, like, I can see something on screen, and that's absolutely fine. Like, that's not scary. Like, it's maybe a bit disturbing, but fine. You know, I can watch that, no problem. I'm not going to turn away. I'm not going to close my eyes, whatever. But if I can hear something and it's not on screen, my imagination goes wild.
I don't mind it in my imagination. I don't like it's the visualizations I don't like.
Yeah.
See, once something is on screen, I can then see what it is, and I'm like, oh, okay, and it's no longer scary because I can see it.
I can understand that.
Then there's
what I mean?
I've been in knife fights, pulled guns, have guns pulled, blah, 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 countless bar fights. But when I have to go get blood work done and they pull out that needle, I'm like a 6-year-old little girl crying.
No, the stupid thing is, I don't mind the sight of my own blood. It's never been a problem.
I hate needles. I'll sit there, I wiggle my feet, I look at the wall, and my wife Deb just starts laughing.
I mean, when I tore part of my head open at judo, a big flap of skin.
Yeah.
Basically, half of my judo suit was just plastered in blood. Didn't bother me because it was mine.
I was going to say it's probably your years of cutting your knees and everything else as a child. It's like, I know that.
Yes.
The days of actually being a child.
2 years ago, when I screwed up my hand.
Nice Finn Philcutt.
Yes, Robert. I did have a Sinclair ZX Spectrum when I was but a boy. My first Spectrum around Christmas '83, 16K Spectrum. Then I got a 32K RAM pack to plug into it.
32K. Whoa.
32K. And when that all fell apart, I got another 48K Spectrum later on.
Amiga 500 was my first one.
Well, you're younger than me,
Yeah,
aren't you?
they're probably better than what I'm running. The Advocate. So yeah.
I mean, Spectrums were still popular then. What?
Yeah. I remember pressing a tape and waiting 5 minutes for a game to load, and then it came up with saying
5 minutes short. 5 minutes short. Lucky I grew up with the BBC computer.
Yeah.
Computer?
I remember.
You have a computer.
No, I was 12, I think, and one of my friends, his parents bought an IBM, and it took like an hour to load the game.
It seemed like forever to wait for Repton to turn up on there.
Yeah.
1991, I think it was. I got my first PC, with two megabytes of RAM, a 40 megabyte hard drive, and a 25 megahertz processor. 25 megahertz processor,
and that was faster then. That was faster then,
mate. You're never going to be able to use all of that. I mean, what are you going to do with all that RAM, with all that memory?
Hang on, let's ask somebody that knows. Daniel.
Oh my God! Hey, Dan, just go away.
Hey Dan, look, working with your abacus is more horrifying than any horror movie I've ever seen.
That's what Bear said the other night. Janet was having issues, and he goes, "God damn it, Janet! I have to deal with Daniel, and now you're acting up." It was hilarious.
What he said? Damn it, Janet! Was he quoting Rocky Horror?
I don't know, but it was funny.
Damn it, Janet!
That's what popped into my head as well, John.
Yes. There were there were some great games on those computers. Some really good games on those computers. Those were the days.
You guys got your first PCs. I weren't even a twinkle in my dad and mum's eye then.
Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Gauntlet. I had a Intellivision.
Paperboy,
yes. I didn't have an Intellivision. We didn't have
I got that. Go ahead.
The first console we had in our house was my brother bought a Super Nintendo in the 90s.
Oh, and the duck game, that duck game with the guns, yeah.
Yeah.
He got it with Mario Kart, the original SNES Mario Kart.
Yeah.
What a game that was.
Oh my God. Okay, I got two stories. One, I had a Intellivision, and when I got that for Christmas the one year, what sucked was the games were $55 back in '82. So you're talking like 120 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
But
People are moaning that
my class in school, I went from nobody to everybody else had an Atari.
Oh
I had
yeah.
television, and then
Thing is,
yeah,
I heard people moaning the other day. The release of the new Nintendo Switch 2, the first Mario Kart that's coming out for it is £70, which is about $90. In terms of inflation, that's actually cheaper than console games were back in the 80s.
You know what? That's the thing that blows my mind.
Yeah. So it's weird to think of it that way. How much people used to spend on games back then,
That
and
somehow video games have survived inflation.
yeah, technology has plummeted in price, hasn't it? It has indeed. I mean, look at the computer I'm sitting in front of now. Yes, I got it through unfortunate circumstances. My wife inheriting money from her father passing away. But even 5 years ago, this computer would have been stupid money. Stupid money.
Yep.
I stopped at Walmart last week pricing a better abacus. And I told the guy, I'm like, everything over here is like $1,400. I don't want that. And like, where's your cheap computer? And he goes, what do you mean?
They are the cheap computers.
Is play online game Dungeons and Dragons. I don't need anything special. He goes, well, these are already set up for gaming. I'm like, I don't play. The guy was an idiot. He said, I don't play whatever military game it was I mentioned. Like,
yeah, you're not trying to run Cyberpunk 2077 at 120 FPS or anything like that.
You know, they have lights in them and fans. And I said, I just want a newer, cheap computer. He's like, and the look on this guy's face was baffled. I was like, dude, I just want a new computer.
Dude, just get a laptop. It'd be like $200, $300. I use a laptop.
No, the laptops where I'm at are like 900. I found a computer from like 5. I thought about getting a laptop.
I was gonna say over here, gaming laptops are a lot cheaper than PCs.
No,
never used to be.
It's not a laptop. It's a bloody notebook, netbook.
They never used to be. Laptops always used to be much more expensive.
Oh god, yeah.
No, where I'm at, they're stupid. It's a new computer is literally half the price of what anything else would be.
You could get. I mean, you could get the one I got from eBay a couple of years ago, just so I could stream a bit better, a bit more reliably. Remember all the issues I used to have with connections with my old computer. The machine I got, which I used for a year, I've still got it. That was like 10 times faster than the one in my bedroom, which I had all the problems with, which is still behind the times for nowadays. Cost me £200 from eBay. And it was infinitely faster than the piece of shit I was using before.
Off eBay, you're lucky it still worked.
It does still work. It was a reconditioned one. It was an eBay company that just rebuild machines from reconditioned parts and sell them off quite cheaply. And it wasn't high spec by any stretch of the imagination. It would have been a decent spec 15 years ago, but still it was better than the one I had in my room, and probably still better than the one that Daniel's got now. And that was 200 quid. That was 200 quid.
Like, my phones are 10 times better than my computer, but you don't get all the options. Like, if I go to, say, Discord on my phone, not everything comes up.
Yeah.
I have to go to my computer But my phones are much faster than this bag of crap. But is what it is. It's
Mhm,
outdated.
mhm.
Figure I'll give it to my son. He can take it up to his room.
So I'm going to bring this stream to a bit of a close because I've got work in the morning, and those late streams were killing me. So so general thumbs up for Pendragon.
Yes.
More
give
than
it-
more than thumbs if I can use my toes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So chat, if I try and run a proper game of Pendragon, there is room for a couple more players if anyone wants to join in. I'm planning on running it on a Wednesday. I might move it to a Friday, depending on what demand is.
No, let
But-
me read more books. No.
So I'm not. It's a little up in the air. I was hoping to start it tonight, but I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready to run it. But I think we got quite a few of the rules sort of embedded in all of our minds tonight, which is good. And that's it's important with the way Pendragon works that the players have some idea of how the mechanics interact with each other, and that they understand that the dice may well frequently take away their choices.
Your initial ideas, yeah.
Yeah. But you choose how to guide it, but it's just the dice might say no.
Will.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just something you've just got to accept with the game. But I think it sounds interesting.
I was gonna say thank you, Straw. I was just about to say it's just like real life. Sometimes shit just happens, and you gotta deal with it, whether you like it or not.
Exactly. Everyone thinks they're going to be the bravest person in the room when shit goes down, but until shit actually goes down, you don't know. It's as simple as that.
And I like that.
You dream of being.
Look, if you said I'm switching to this on a Saturday instead of OSC, I'd play.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to draw this stream to a close because I do have to sort my sleeping pattern out.
One last comment: I prefer this to Shadow Dark as well because I know we've played.
You prefer this to Shadow Dark? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's fair. Right. Yes, the key is, Elfbait, that the players really have the choice of how they approach a situation and which skill they would like to invoke, and whether they want to do the positive or the negative skill as the primary one. But if you fail the roll on the one you want and you pass the roll on the one you don't want, you have to play out the bad roll because things do go wrong. Things are more likely to go right. It's just that bad things will happen because the humans are not perfect. So,
Except for me.
hey. But the players do get to guide.
Sorry, do I need to consult your two experts?
The players get to guide what they want to roll against, how they want to resolve a situation, and they can guide it with the role play. But then they're expected to role play a bad result if a bad result happens, and their knight does the opposite of what they want.
Well, I mean, but if you're someone that genuinely gets upset by that, go play a different game.
Yes.
Yep. All right, guys.
Yes.
I'm gonna get going. I gotta go do some gardening anyhow.
We're ending now anyway.
Yes, we are. Yes. So thank you, fellas, for joining
Have a
me.
good
Thank
night.
you, chat.
Cheers all. Cheers, Joe.
I'm going to end the
Bye.
stream now, and I'll see you all on Friday. Good night,
Yeah.
fellas.
Bye.
Good night.